Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today we're one Hindustani civilization away from having the perfect quadfecta as Heart playing as the Huns in red gets ready to take on Hera playing as the, Teutons in blue. Now all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings as eerily quietly as possible for the Huns without construction sounds. Every game always starts a little creepy and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Not a bad time for us to take a look at the two civilizations in the two hands of these two powerful players that we are going to be watching today. The Huns, a civilization designed to take the fight to its enemy with speed and mobility. Their cavalry archers get progressively cheaper, 10% off in Castle, 20% off in Imperial. Their trebs fire more accurately at units. Their stables work 20% faster, which is fantastic news because you can actually upgrade your stables, much like the Italians and the Goths, although the Italians get it for free. As I always like to say, for that cost-cutting civilization, in this case, you can upgrade the stable to train their unique unit, the Tarkin. This is a medium cavalry unit with a high amount of pierce armor and an attack bonus against buildings that makes it great at late-game raiding. And look at that. We had to wait only 2 minutes for some construction sounds. Now, to support its military, the Huns don't actually need to build any houses. Notice a bit of a dearth of housing here for the Huns. Take a look at where my mouse is slowly circling at the top of your screen. You'll notice that the Huns start every single game population max to the hilt, which means it frees up a little bit of wood and villager construction time during those early precious moments of the game. Although this feature does come at the cost of 100 wood. Down goes the wild boar, and let's take a look at the northern part of the map where our Teuton is already industriously expanding his civilization, a brawler civilization, dang, designed to take a beating and still stay standing. All Teuton barracks and stable units get free extra melee armor in Castle Age, and then even more in Imperial. Their siege units can be upgraded to get a +4 melee armor boost. Their towers have extra space to garrison more units inside and therefore fire more arrows. And by the way, same goes for their TC. Take a look at that, 0 out of 25 compared to the usual 0 out of 15. And they get the murder holes and herbal medicine upgrades free of charge, which means they can heal their units super fast in castles while being protected against melee units. Now, those very same Teutonic castles can actually be upgraded to get massive boost to their range and fire arrows when garrisoned by infantry, which in Age of Empires 2 is a pretty darn big deal since usually only villagers and archer units add arrows to a castle. Now, on the field of battle, all Teutonic units have a higher resistance to conversion, and if they're hurt, can be healed by monks from twice the distance. No 4 tiles for you, a massive 8 tiles of healing. This is fantastic news for their unique unit, the Teutonic Knight, a super slow, incredibly powerful, heavily armored infantry unit. If we're lucky enough to see one, you'll see exactly why they're so slow with so much freaking armor. Now, to support a big, hungry population, the Teutonic farms come in at a 40% discount, so no excuse for Hera not to plop down 1,000,000 farms to, grow the crops needed for sauerkraut and bratwurst and barley and yeast for beer. I don't know anything about cooking. And pretty much my experience in eating foods even tangentially related to the Teutons is when I lived in Berlin for a little bit and ate McDonald's a lot. And they had beer and mayonnaise at McDonald's, not something that you usually saw back in 2004, 2005 in Canada. Now there's mayo everywhere. I don't know why, but in any event, those are the two civilizations. We've got one lightning fast encircling you with their cavalry archers, one notoriously weak to quicker cavalry archer fire, since the Teutons infamously miss the good old-fashioned husbandry upgrade. Makes their army a little bit slower, at least their mounted army, a little bit slower on their feet. And we'll see whether or not our Hun takes advantage of that. Lately, wR.Hearttt, the Hun, he has been Hera's kryptonite. He has been early on the aggression. He's been villager sniping. He's been civilization destroying. And he has done a good job keeping Hera on his feet. We'll see whether or not he can continue his win streak here. But for now, let's remove the line of sight blockers. Like a horse being freed for the first time, we can see the world magnificently, just like Heart's scout can, just like Hera's scout can. And let's see where the attack path is. Where is this hunter going with his bow and arrow? Okay, well, he traded his bow and arrow for a hammer and blacksmith tools and is now constructing a barracks, which Hera, unfortunately, I don't think has seen. Okay, well, there you go. So it got a good amount of scouting, but not perfect. Attack path between the two bases fantastically open. A couple of lakes on the left and the right. Relic in the center. One of those things that's going to be changed in the patch is, I guess, the relic in the center for some reason, is a big deal. And so they're just going to remove it. And I guess randomize more where that initial center relic is going to be. In any event, the attack path, as we saw, pretty darn open. So we'll see which civilization decides to take advantage of this. We'll see which player decides to put on the aggression. For now, a stable for our Hun. No surprise there. And an archery range for our Briton. Our Briton, oh my goodness, our Teuton. Oh, man. Primary gold exposed to the left, primary stone exposed to the front. Not liking where wR.Heara's resources are. In addition, his second and third gold. Oh my god, this is like a Bermuda Triangle of laming here. If wR.Hearttt decides to explore, has he? No, he hasn't seen the extra gold. If he saw 1, 2, 3 patches, wR.Heara's entire gold mining economy here to the north, he would be sending Hunnic villagers. He would be sending army right here and trying to take control of this very lush, very gold-rich territory. For his part, he's got an extra patch of gold to the front. Primary stone also exposed. Gold to the back and extra gold to the back as well. So resource location much better for our Hun, who also gets the first kill of the game here, right off screen, right as I pivot away. Viewers of the channel will know that that happens very, very frequently. Tinkle, tinkle, tinkle. I believe high ground here for our Teuton Spearman, who does not have the extra armor just yet, because we are not in Castle or in Imperial. We are very much in Feudal. So wR.Heara evens up the kill count. Kill a scout of mine. I will kill a spearman of yours. And now the players running past each other like ships in the night. Going to try to abuse the fact that we are still early on in the game. Going to try to skill check their opponents. Going to try to make sure if there is an opening that they can wedge themselves right in. Couple of skirmishers. Well, I guess not a couple anymore. Now we got a thruple of skirmishers and a thruple of spearmen trying to get some damage done here. We'll see if they're strong enough to kill one of these Hunnic villagers. She does have loom. Why is wR.Heartt's army all the way up here? Why is it not hanging out? But there you go. Minimum range, 2 attack, no melee armor means that these units are very much susceptible. And ooh, what a good opportunity there with the skirmishers being separated from their handlers a little bit for wR.Hearttt to have potentially gotten some skirmisher kills. But no, wait a second. He's moving in, and there's just one spearman here. He's going to get rid of the spearman. And if he can get rid of the spearman, then it is smooth sailing here. wR.Heara's villagers have loom. They're on the low ground. He brings more of them forward inexplicably. Where were they going? Okay, he's going to defend. Looks like back home he's defended as well. Has wR.Hearttt, but he gets 2 vill kills. Well, there you go. I mentioned it. Early aggression, early economic damage, early civilizational crowbar to the knee. He's back. He has 1 more villager kill. He gets the villager kill with the high ground. I did not think he was going to get that before the spearman showed up, but he did. 3 villager kills. Oh, man. But wR.Hearttt has to contend with a pretty sizable army. They might not be strong, but there are a lot of them here. We'll see if they can even get a villager kill here. Now they definitely will, right? Yeah, wR.Heara gets his first vill kill of the game as wR.Heartt's army returns, but not an easy get, not a free get. 2 spearmen, 3 skirmishers. Bye-bye. Lonesome military unit on his own. Okay, wR.Hearttt takes a massive 11-4 kill lead, including 3 vill kills to 1. wR.Heara's down 2 villagers. Both players, minimal TC idle time. Both players not banking any kind of real resources, showing us that they want to go up to Castle Age just yet. And wR.Hearttt is under attack yet again, though this time he's got the high ground. This time he's got the military reinforcements, including the scouts, by the way. Might want to send 1 or 2. See, this is the difference between play styles sometimes. wR.Heara would look at this army clump, see these 2 weaker scouts, and then send them off to the periphery of the map to actually do some scouting. Maybe not this guy. Maybe not the guy with 15 HP, but definitely the forward scout here. Where are you, Mr. What is that? 4, 3, 5 HP. I don't think he would necessarily risk his life, but to each their own. To each their own play style, and that's what makes this game so much fun. Everyone has, for the most part, the same units, especially in the Feudal Age. Not a lot of difference in militaries generally. No one's really training Gurjara camel riders. Sicilian donjons do make an appearance. How excited are people, by the way, for Dark Age donjons? Oh my goodness. And I forget which unit. Oh, I did a very cursory scan of the preview notes. I generally don't like to read preview notes just because it's why read things twice. I'd rather just read the final notes, but everyone has been so excited, clamoring all over themselves. Every post on Reddit has like 700 comments about these notes that the developers, I forget which unit it is now, that there's another unit that's going to be able to come alive in the Feudal Age. I forget which unit it is. Trying to think, but I don't think thinking about it is going to help. It's like everything. It'll come to me when I least expect it. A few more kills here as Hard presses in. He's starting to also begin gathering some resources, no longer training military, but Hera's light years ahead of him. He's got the 600 food, no gold though. Fortunately, had to lame his villagers for a little bit, idle them for a little bit, I guess, while Hart continues to pivot around to the south of this forest. Again, he hasn't seen, if he had seen these 3 patches, I feel like our Hun would be there non-stop. There would be, I mean, the Hun Siege Workshop is probably laughable. Their siege is not exactly the greatest, but in early Castle Age, it's just fine. I mean, it's really after Castle Age where you don't even get more than a Mangonel and a basic Scorpion that things really shit the bed there for the Hun. But in early Castle, it's not a terrible. At least they get these units. Closes in on the army. But unfortunately, Hart has not scouted that Bermuda's Triangle of gold, and does not know that he has the ability right now to crush Hera's gold economy. Hera heading up to the Castle Age. Hart, though, not too far behind. Just 70 chicken nuggets, a few more ounces of gold. Hera, meanwhile, pivoting, running around, circling, trying to get this last military unit that's here. It's got a lot of HP. It's got bloodlines. Trying to lure it into the TC, maybe use a villager or two, but Hart's not falling for it. Hart is skirting the edge, and now he's going up to Castle Age 2, about 30 seconds behind his opponent. Not the end of the world. So we'll see what direction the players want to go. What did Hera plop down here? What did Hera plop down here? Says the caster who should know what Hera plopped down there. It is a stable, whatever it was before. Stable, archery range, barracks, a second blacksmith, which is incredibly uncommon in Age of Empires. It's a lot more common in StarCraft to have 2 forges, 2 engineering bays, right? In this game, whose name I can't remember, having casted it for no fewer than 2.5 years and played it for no fewer than 30 years. You'd think I know the name of this game. In Age of Empires, it's not very common for players to get 2 blacksmiths. Not an easy word to make into a plural, blacksmiths. In any event, Hart, tell me you're going to discover some of this gold, nowhere to press. I don't know why I keep harping on this. I have no interest in who wins or loses. I just, when there's 3 patches of gold so close to one another, it just provides such an opportunity. So much opportunity for laming. He sees his opponent in Castle Age. If he didn't hear the rattle, if he didn't see the triple Roman numerals here, he knows for sure. And will he head home or will he go this way? See, he's heading east. Should have been heading west. In any event, a few basic foot archers with forging. Light cavalry as well en route for our Hun, as in, okay, the elite skirmisher upgrade is going up for our Teuton. Not sure he's going to commit to this or whether or not this is just the remnants of what he had before, but he definitely expects some kind of cavalry archer play out of our Hun, who in the meantime inserts himself into the rear, gets 2 more villagers, and then backs away. Will he get a third? He does not get a third. This villager decides to defend himself. The HP on these Hunnic units, to be fair, he probably could have gotten that villager. Who's kidding you? He probably could have gotten that villager. And now the couple of archers to reinforce, to distract the knight. He is going to go after that villager. Will he make it home? Will he make it home in time? He does. In the meantime, the knight says, hey, let me educate you as to the raw power of a Castle Age unit versus a Feudal Age unit. Another villager bites at dust, 6-3, but the scouts are falling. Will he be able to get this last one? He does. Looks like on the other side of the map, though, Hera, not without his aggression, has managed to get a bunch of villagers as well. 4 vill kills for him. Total kill count pretty similar, 28-27. Hart's killed a few more vills. Whether or not that'll make any kind of difference here, Hera's only down 4 villagers. We will see. Hera's trying to bust his way into here. Just a flimsy non-Cuman palisade, non-Byzantine palisade is all that stands in his way. And he's in, but bloodlines. no husbandry. Bloodlines, no husbandry. One by choice, one by necessity. And why the hell is our Hun not getting bloodlines? He has an opportunity here to run circles around his opponent. Looks like Heartt's army to the back of the base. And there we go. This is exactly why he got those skirmishers. This is exactly why Heartt should not be pressing into this with cavalry archers. And I'm glad to see he's going husbandry instead of cavalry archers here. In terms of what he's... Obviously, husbandry applies to cavalry archers. I'm saying what upgrade or what unit he's training. I'm glad to see husbandry for his knights. Now he has the mobility factor over his opponent, including, by the way, light cavalry units. And Hera's base, not walled in at all. This is a very Hunnic base, if you think about it. The Huns don't even get houses to use. Not only do they not need houses, they don't get houses. They can't build them, so they're relying on palisades and walls and other 2x2 expensive structures. In the meantime, though, Hera's pressing in. He is chasing, laughably, a knight that runs faster than his. And I see more and more blue dots streaming down the map. What are they? Knights and skirmishers. A monk is coming out for our Hun as well. His economy remains 4 villagers bigger. His army count is lower, but in terms of the actual power units, the knights, it's a dozen apiece. Just don't let Hera get control of this high ground. This is a very bad place for your enemy to insert himself, and Hera has inserted himself exactly into that position. He's got the high ground. Now he's threatening 1 stable out of 2. So 50% of your military industrial complex is now under enemy threat. Very hard to know who the hell is going to win this. Knight versus knight is a battle that takes so long just because they have good amount of armor, a good amount of HP, a medium-ish attack. I feel like Heartt was trying to go after these skirmishers. Instead, he just loses 4 of his cavalry units. Oh my god. The micro here out of Hera just proving superior, but there is a defender's advantage. He moves back and begins babysitting his units. Hera doesn't even have a monk out just yet. He's getting handcart. Heartt doesn't even have wheelbarrow, so Heartt is all in military right now. He is very much in the feudal age when it comes to economic upgrades. Hera shoves in a wily little scout. Oh, he's gonna try to get converted before he can kill. Well, that might be one of the only instances I've seen where a scout does not get a monk being body blocked by a bunch of knights. Looks like one of Hera's units did get converted here. And Hera's just pressing his advantage. He's got 30 army count to 18, 16 knights to 16, but he's got skirmishers. To be fair, 12 of them do just 12 damage, which is only 1/10, 10% of the HP of this unit. Or maybe a little bit more if they're on the high ground, which is why I am issuing a call yet again to Heartt across space and time. This game was played a few days ago. Do not let your opponent take this high ground. Fight tooth and nail. Close it up immediately. Put down a pair of houses. Do something. Okay, he's replacing the stable, which is nice. I like this. It means no wood for cav archers, which I don't want to see. Oh no. Oh, I said I don't want to see cav archers. Immediately I see a cav archer being trained. No. Forget your 10% discount. More knights. Hera's going pure melee. Your cav archers are going to do jack diddly to the cavalry, and jack diddly, even less jack diddly to these skirmishers. Hera shoves them in first. He wants to go after the monks, expecting the monks to be in the forward position to shoo away the knights. But Heartt, playing 40 chess as well, puts the knights in the forward position, shooing away those very same skirmishers. Where are you going? The 3 musketeers over here in the middle of nowhere. You are not Frankish. Every man is needed on the front lines right now. This is not a situation where Heartt, who's down 15, 16 army count, 17 army count, has the luxury of not having all hands on deck. Okay, Hera's finally healing his units, although they don't really require too much healing. What about Heartt's army? Also doesn't require too much healing. The problem is, Heartt's army is small. If he can hold the choke point, maybe he can Thermopylae Leonidas 300 Hera's army. But we'll see whether or not Hera decides to attack into here. There's lots of areas to attack into, including a few incomplete palisade walls. The 3 musketeers have reached the end of the world and now pivot into Hera's base. Another villager kill. They are not scout units. Another villager kill, another villager kill. 10 kills to 5. But their HP is dwindling. Hera's knights are catching up. He's playing whack-a-mole in the forward position. Looks like moving his skirmishers forward and back. Okay, Heart loses 1 knight for, what was that, 5 or 6 villagers. This incredibly weak one with 3 HP is running away, as is this one. And as long as they run away, there is 0 chance that Hera can catch him. If they stand and fight, there is 0 chance that they can win. Hera's units, again, are Teuton. And every unit that comes out of the stable, every unit that comes out of a barracks comes with extra melee armor right now. No. 11 cavalry archers. Why is he going cavalry archers? What the hell are they going to do here? Is he going to try to snipe Hera's economy? Does he think he has the luxury of ignoring an army this freaking massive? And this dumb bastard made it all the way home only to get converted. Oh my goodness. Hera adds another unit to his roster while denying his opponent a unit. Villager kills are starting to go down as well. And Hera has just inserted himself into the one place he probably shouldn't have, according to Heart's defenses, the high ground forward position. Okay, Heart is using his dozen cavalry archers to snipe monks. Gotten thumbering for them as well, but where the hell are his knights? 18 knights to 42. Oh, this is gonna be Thomas Hobbes, The Life of Man. Nasty, brutish, and freaking short. If Heart decides to take an engagement here, he is significantly outnumbered, even if you count 15 skirmishers. Look at just the mass of this mass. Forget the word massive. There's this mass of Teuton cavalry streaming forward. Cav archers are taking skirmisher fire, doing absolutely nothing. 8 attack against 4 armor. Come on. Heart is getting pushed back, inserted into an alley between, I don't know how he's going to take this 21 army count to 47. Villager count for the first time in the game. Heart is down, and that's it. Hera's kryptonite proves to be no kryptonite at all in this particular matchup, as Heart inexplicably goes cavalry archers against an army of fully upgraded knights and elite skirmishers. FYI, on the high ground. Okay. Again, if you have an 8 attack, I'm trying to make this make sense. I mean, I get it. He's got the resources to train them, but if you had just replaced this and this with 2 stables, maybe you could have met your opponent on the field of battle. They do still get pikemen, unless I'm mistaken. So not a bad unit to get as well. But Heart doubling down on the mounted units, and unfortunately, in my opinion, let me know what you think in the comments below, doubling down on the wrong mounted units, the ones that go pew pew, the fire from a distance, these guys, instead of the ones that crash right into you and go clang clang, bitty bitty bang bang with their swords and absolutely wreck you. And unfortunately for our Hun, Hera just not taking that much damage, and surprisingly not really giving a damn about his farms towards the end of the game, microing the hell. His APM must be like 5 million right at the end of the game. We'll take a look. But Hera just crashing through despite losing 12 villagers at the end of the day, kills 27, although that was probably in the last couple of minutes. Usually the entire game, he was pretty much down villagers right up until this very last battle. And just army, both players going 1 TC up until Heart decided to go 2nd TC, but both of them pretty much the entire game going 1 TC aggression. Hera's army just bigger. It's better. It's got +2 attack to the +1 of our Hun. It's got +2 armor to the +1 armor. And again, this is a Teutonic unit, so its +1 armor becomes +3 melee armor against these knights. Maybe that's why Heart didn't want to go knight versus knight and back it up with some kind of archer unit, but maybe pikemen would have been better. I'm not sure here, to be fair. It's an uphill battle literally over here, and then just the sheer mass of Teuton. You know, I like to say in the beginning, to grow their big hungry Teutonic population, they have those discounted farms, and Hera showed us a big hungry militaristic population, just absolutely steamrolled over his opponent. This has to be at the end of the game. No, it's in the middle of the game. And okay, Heart is at the end of the game because he's microing cav archers and knights. But yeah, look at that, 33 to 54, 23 to 34. I mean, there's no metric here. Maybe the 3rd unit versus 3rd unit. Maybe. This is an 18 attack bonus against this unit. So I don't know. Maybe he wins out this, but the other one's Hera wins out handily. Let's take a look at the stats. Wow, economy is the same. No time for gold relics, no time for stone, no time for castles, no time for Tarkans, no time for Teutonic Knights. 3 conversions to 1, including that one weird conversion. That's the Hera's only conversion of that knight that made it all the way home just in time to get converted with his 5 HP. 3 raisings, not that kind of game either, but at the end of the day, 98 kills to 66. So a pretty fun back and forth. They were slashing at one another here and there, waiting until they could take the advantage. Hera waiting until he could secure his base from those knights, because the last thing you want to do is take an okay fight and realize your opponent has killed 30 of your villagers. So Hera very carefully wanted to protect this area. Lost in the total 12 villagers, and Heart, despite a good amount of early game aggression, maybe it just wasn't enough. But again, was his army composition correct? That's the question I have, and let me know what you think in the comments below. For now, though, it is Hera who takes the W with the massive army advantage, but GG in a fun, cataclysmic last battle to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.